on the program, we will be looking at our code and, of course, do some review of the headlines of some of the newspapers. And we also will look at a story beyond border. I mean, that is the story of Senegal. That's President Macky Sall, announcement that he is not running for 2024 presidential election in Senegal. And we'll be talking to the Women Association for Victim Empowerment, and their representatives will be in the studio, and we'll be having a fruitful discussion on the, the association. And we'll also be doing the click segment with Churchill Balde. He'll be talking to an entertainer from the Gambia called Speed. On that note, we'll be welcoming Mr. Ade.
Again.
Welcome, Mr. Ade.
Thank you. And once again, apologies for the slight late start. It's not too bad.
It's part of the job. Sometimes comes with it.
Lots of things to do. And also our Managing Director, Mr. Carr, is here. Mr. Carr, of course, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to join you this morning and to engage the public and discuss the issues that are tabled before us.
Absolutely.
And Balde didn't get the memo that we should be in stripes today.
Well, I mean, I would have also, I have one at home, so I would have just...
Let him be the odd one out. I don't want to
there
be
must be always someone to be at the other side.
Odd one out.
Yes, sure. Our code reads, "A life lived in love will never be dull."
So we've stopped saying African proverbs. We're just doing quotes now.
So I came across this yesterday too. I said, you remember the one for yesterday was love.
It was about love. So obviously the theme this week is love. But it's an interesting one.
It's a love week.
It's an interesting one, because even if you flipped it on its side, a life lived in hate will also never be dull.
But it's better to live in love than hate. I love the life in love.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. But if you think about it deeply, a life lived in love will never be dull. Yes, one could probably take issue with it. It could be dull, it could be boring, but it should be a pleasant life. If you live a life of love, you love people and people love you back, then that enriches your life and enriches their life. So yes, in that sense, I guess it's true. A life lived in love will never be dull.
Well, Mr. Carr, don't you think it's loving the right people? I mean, sharing love with the right people.
Love is a two-sided thing. It can be platonic and it can be romantic. Platonic love is the love that you have for your father, mother, brothers, sisters, kids. That's a different type of love as opposed to the love that you will have for your spouse. They are different, but they are all ingrained inside. Love as a term is very poetic because it can be deep. You can find it in all things in nature. You can see the beauty of roses and appreciate them, and that also can evoke that feeling of love. You can see the river. You can see a lot of things around you in nature, appreciating them. So that exhibits that type of love. You can love animals. You can love the environment. You can love, and the things that you love, you tend to protect and defend them and make them blossom. So that is why it's beautiful. It can be found in anything in our humanity. So if you cultivate it, it breeds, development. It breeds calmness, tranquility, assurance. So there are a host of things that are embedded in that term, love. Yes.
I like what Mr. Carr says about the things that you love, you protect. It's like the unconditional love that parents have for their children. You feel a responsibility that you are the one who's responsible for having brought them into the world. And one day you're probably just sitting there looking at your child, and this feeling comes over you of, my God, that is my child, whom I would do anything to protect. And that kind of love is it's a rare and one that
you can
cherish.
see that in animals. Look at the mother hen, for instance, aggressively protecting the chicks when you come near them. And cats, lions, any animal that you test, you will find that what you just said now about the love that you have for your kids or siblings, for that matter. Absolutely.
I think that's a genuine love there. I mean, the love that you have for your kids, your siblings, your parents. That's a genuine one. You see, love itself is different from the love that you have for your spouse, as you mentioned, Mr. Ka, earlier. I think those type of love, even the way you feel it in your heart, is totally different.
The romantic love, as he mentioned.
It's a feeling that sometimes you cannot express with your mouth. I mean, only the heart can tell.
Poets have been trying for centuries to try and capture it, but none of them, some of them have gotten close, but nobody succeeded.
Love cannot be predicted. Like, you cannot predict love.
Well, no, and you know, we can celebrate it, and you know, and you could even say that without love, the world would end, because you know, the kind of physical love between a man and a woman, that's what allows us to procreate, to have children. Absolutely. And for us to, you know, to carry on as human beings, and for animals to carry on as well.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for interpreting that. I have learned a lot when I've learned a lot. So we'll take a short break. After the break, then the program will continue. We have a paper to review and also other issues to delve into. So we'll be right back.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Back, and this is QTV This Morning, and we are now on the review segment. That's the newspaper. I'm seeing on the Foroya this morning, residents of KM calls on authorities to cover open gutters. I mean, you know, they might be very dangerous during the rainy season, especially when water covers the whole gutter without seeing it. Well, it can cause a lot of danger.
There's a route that I take when I come to work through Sukuta. And there's a side turning that some vehicles take, and there's quite an open gutter there. And since the rains, I've noticed all the drivers have been avoiding it because the water has covered it, and so you don't know where the road ends and the gutter begins. And if you go there, it will be a disaster because it's very deep. The gutter is very, very deep, and so it's the kind of thing that, never mind KMC, it's everywhere.
It's all over.
It's everywhere, and you know, we go, and for a lot of them, you know, sometimes Malik was saying before we came on air just now that sometimes it's the fact that debris collects in these gutters, and then when it rains they just spill onto the main road and they flood the road, you know. So really the clearing up job should be done, you know, they say make hay while the sun shines, you know. Clearing should be done before the rain season, not when the rain season is upon us, and then we're suffering the consequences and we're all complaining about it.
I'm not saying, Mr. Ka, let them not clear the gutters at this time, but I think it's the timing too. It's been happening for many years. Yeah. I mean, maybe a month to rainy season, they start cleaning them. I think this should be done at least 6 months before rainy season. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I share that. I think all the debris ought to be removed for the free flow of water. And also for me, the National Road Authority, I think, should have an added name of safety as well. In other countries, it's National Road Authority and safety, because these are things that they must factor in looking at the roads, you know, the potholes, you know, all these things are part of the broader issues of what we are talking about, covering of the gutters, you know, I mean, exposing children to danger, exposing vehicles. I think they are important things that they ought to be looked at in a broader context, you know, and then be addressed so that we can avert a lot of things such as flooding and accidents.
Absolutely. Especially at this time, and certain areas very dangerous. I've seen a lot of open gutters with iron rods, you know, which when a person fall in that, I mean, it's going to cause you a lot of damage.
I mean, some of the open gutters along Kairaba Avenue, I deliberately avoid because I've seen what's in them when it was dry, and I know they've not been cleared, and so I don't go anywhere near them because, you know, if anything happens, you fall in, you know, you could injure yourself. And so, yeah, as you said, it's not even a month. They should be cleared all the time, every time, and they're not. And as I keep saying, I'm not putting the blame on any single council, because I think pretty much people would name anywhere they live. And it's the same story, and councils need to take this more seriously.
People as well equally have a responsibility
not to keep throwing
debris. You know,
it didn't get there by themselves.
And all the, or even stop putting it there as well. You know, responsibility is both on society and the state. If they all perform their duties as is expected, then at least it will improve things, even if it is not perfect.
I can remember there was a time I was with my child and we were driving, going somewhere, and there's an area covered with a lot of plastics and waste. He was like, wow, look at this area. I said to him, it's the little things we throw that gathers at the end of the time. You know, and I mean, it's the result of the things that we throw.
So people ought to take responsibility as well, just as we are demanding of the state to assume its roles and responsibility. We should stop throwing away some of these debris, tires and everything all over the place. You know, litter. I think hygiene is everybody's responsibility within the little environment you have. If you wake up in the morning, you clear and clean it, everybody repeats that, the whole place, it becomes, you know,
exactly.
Based on what I've seen, there are about 100 people watching this program right now who within the next hour will be driving along in a car and they'll throw a plastic bottle or a can of Coke, empty can, out the window. And assume that that can is going to pick itself up and put it in a bin. It's not going to do that. That person has the responsibility not to do that. And yet people do it all the time. You see it every single day, I can guarantee you.
Well, like you said, Mr. Carr, I mean, it's the responsibility of every person not to throw things. I mean, throw the thing that you want to throw outside in your car. Leave it in the car.
Or the council also have a responsibility to provide bins, you know, where people also can go and put things. That also has to be created so that, you know,
But Mr. Carr, I think the council tried at some point. I mean, they've placed bins all over. But people will throw, instead of throwing it into the bin, they'll throw it.
Well, I've related this 100 times on this very Kairaba Avenue.
So
I actually took a picture
of
a bin outside at the bottom of Kairaba Avenue. I had lifted the bin to throw in the mango that I'd finished eating.
And the bin was empty.
The bin was empty, and yet at the base of the bin, people had thrown oranges and mangoes, and the bin was empty. Mine was the first
telling you
thing
how lazy attitude
so
people
this
can
is a lost cause then, it seems, if people
honestly,
have
I
that
actually took a
attitude.
picture and I sent it to
We
the
need
council.
to work on the minds of the people first before we start creating bins.
If Aisha from KMC is watching, she will remember that I took a picture and I sent it to her.
That's right. Now let's take a look at stories beyond our. I mean, after all the brouhaha, all the up and down, all the fights in Senegal, I mean, what people were fearing that President Macky Sall will be running for 2024. You know, this is in connection with a video that he made some time ago that if he won, he can run for 2024.
I mean, to quote him in that video, he said, you know, I can have the sovereign right to contest if I wanted to, because the new constitution doesn't speak to that. It doesn't say somebody who has already been in office is exempt. And that's all he said. He said, so if I wanted to, I could.
I could, yes.
He said, and I could do so legally.
Yes.
So now people assume that.
I think Senegalese, most of them are now at ease, according to the way it seems. Mr. Carr, don't you think it's important for him to step aside now, I mean, for peace to prevail in Senegal?
What do you mean now?
I don't understand.
No, for him,
as you have a mandate to finish up to April.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So,
after his mandate,
that's what he did.
Yes, I think this is a good decision. I mean, to help maintain peace in Senegal.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just for Senegal, Africa, we should start developing the democratic culture where succession is smooth and peaceful. That is the only way we can have development. And then, you know, put the military at check so that we don't give them any excuse or reason to be interfering in politics. Because also the subversion of the constitution and third term thing is a coup d'etat in itself.
Yeah.
The Mbalo did say it, you know, the Guinea-Bissauan president, when he addressed the ECOWAS, he said, look, we also are responsible sometimes for the instability that we experience in Africa. So what do? We have seen the United States of America, maybe more than 200 years of democracy, and they are changing constantly. You know, the president term limit is something very important to assure and ensure peace and development. These are things that we must have to nurture in our democratic culture so that we can strengthen the institutions that will guarantee, you know, and assure us there will be peaceful transition of power.
When you look at the sub-region, I mean, we can, most of these countries today, their leaders don't want to release power after their term. They still want to go on and on and on. So this will, like you said, it will allow the military to interfere in the system.
I mean, you blame the constitutions, including, let's be blunt, the Gambian one does not have term limits. If a constitution doesn't have term limits, why should I step down? Why should I? You know, so if we want term limits, let's put them in the constitution. In Sierra Leone, it's there. In Liberia, it's there. Other countries have it. You know, in Senegal, it is now there. You know, and Macky Sall had said all along, and you know, he gave this speech last night. He addressed his country people and said, you know, I will not be seeking that. And one of the reasons he did it, apart from all the violence, of course, is that people who were supporters of his had been giving interviews saying he is going to be our candidate for 2024.
All right, so
but he had not spoken on it.
We'll be taking a look at that video. I mean, parle français?
Yeah, un peu.
Oui, oui. All right, so we'll take a look at that video. It's in Wolof.
mbokk yi ginnaaw bu ma nuyoo Sénégal yëpp ñi ci biir réew mi ak ñi ci bitim réew kaddu yi ma yëkkati léegi doonte firi nañ ko ci kàllaama wolof dama bëggoon sànni tuuti kaddu ginnaaw bu ma nuyoo waa réew mi yëpp di fàttali ni suñu réew fan yi ñu génn gis nañu fii ay jafe-jafe yu tar loo xam ne Sénégal mosu ko xam ci ay yàqute ci yàqal nit ñi seeni alal bàyyiwuñu kër bàyyiwuñu l'hôpital bàyyiwuñu benn service ay doomu aadama boom nañ leen muy xale yu ndaw ñoo xamante ni seen njaboot soxla nañ leen lu ko andi politique ak jàpp ne boo mënee andi ay xale teg leen ci mbedd ñu lim ay dee yu bari dana tax nguur gi fi nekk nemmerlu wala ñu yàq ko su ko defee yéene yi nga xam ne ñi fi nekk di ko doxal ak ñañu bokkal bitim réew te mu leer naññ na tey jii dafa am connexion bitim réew ak ñi ci biir réew mi ngir yàq Sénégal loolu laa ne bëgg naa waa réew mi ubbi bu baax seen bët bàyyi ci xel loolu nag dama ci woo képp kuy responsable politique ak boor boo mënti féete képp kuy kilifa ci réew mi kilifa diine kilifa aada képp kuy société civile képp kuy citoyen war nañu bàyyi xel ci suñu réew ndax dafa am lu ñu xamee Sénégal mooy réew moo xam ne waasoo amu fi bokk ndey bokk baay donte nit ñi mën nañ bañ a bokk jëmuwaay wala xalaat loolu moo waral may wane tiis bu tar ci xale yi fi faatu diggante 2021 ak 2023 bi nii loolu nag maa ngi koy jaalewaat seeni mbokk di ko jaalewaat réew mi yépp di wax ne lépp lu ci war état bi def na ko ci wàllu ay l'enquête ngir justice muy tribunal saytu li nga xam ne moo waral musiba yooyu ak ña nga xam ne ñoo ko yëkkati ak ñañu ci àndal ak ña ko doxal seen bopp ñoom ñëpp danañu wuyu ci yoon ngir ñu mën a fànq lu mel noonu ndax lu yàq réew li ci des itam wane naa ne réew mi dañ ko war a waxtaanee dañu war a di diisoo ci lépp loo xam ne dañu ko bokk looloo waraloon diisoo bi ma yëkkati fan yi ñu génn ñu tuddee ko dialogue national yàlla def ñëpp ñu ci bëggoon dugg te ñu ëpp solo ci réew mi yàlla def na waxtaan nañu ba juboo am ay conclusion maanaam yu am solo ci wàllu koom ci wàllu social ci wàllu culture ci wàllu politique ba nga xamante ni loolu dina gën a dëgëral suñu démocratie ponk yooyu nag ñu tënk dinaa ko doxal à partir de semaine bi ndax dinañ yóbbu assemblée nationale loi yi ñu war a soppi ngir li ku jéggi ñaanoon ci wàllu parrainage yu élection ak yeneen i changement ci code électoral ak yeneen i loi ñu mën ko def ci diir bu gàtt loolu yëpp parce que diisoo moo ko waral parce que luy jëmale Sénégal kanam li ci des itam wax naa ni réew mi fi mu toll ak alal ji fi feeñ dana gën a tax nit ñi bëgg a ñëw Sénégal wala am luñ fi def ci fànn bu nekk nag ba ci diine ji loolu dafa jar a bàyyi xel moo waral ma ne man sama taxawaayu démb ak sama taxawaayu tey benn lay doon muy taxaw ngir aar réew mi ci wàllu indépendance am ci wàllu ay frontières am ci wàllu ay institution am yi nga xam ni démocratie moo ko fi teg te loolu duñu seetaan mukk ñu koy yàq ak lu mu mënti jar donc loolu nag fii ak yàlla ñuy may bakkan fii ak mandat bi ñu jox ñu ngi koy doxal na leen leer ne dinaa si taxawaay yu wér ànd si ak ñëpp ñi nga xam ni ñoom laa ci war a àndal ginnaaw loolu mbokk yi nee naa mbirum élection yi di ñëw coow li bëri na d'abord may rafetlu ñi nga xam ne dañu ànd ak man ak bëgg ma toogaat ci bopp réew mi wone ko ci anam yu bare ci région yu bëri ci réew mi yëpp ci diaspora bi wone ko ci coalition bi muy coalition Benno Bokk Yaakaar ma santaat leen gërëm leen wone ko ci parti bi ma taxawal muy Alliance pour la République bëri na ñoo xam ne sax ay kilifa diine lañu ay citoyens tout simplement jàpp nañu ne fi réew mi toll président war na mën a taxawaat surtout que am na ci yoon may na ko muy constitution bi ndax lu leer la 2016 biñ ko defee 2016 bañ ko defee conseil constitutionnel ci boppam moo joxe woon ndigal ngir ñu dindi disposition transitoire bi ma ci defoon ngir ñu mënoon compter mandat bu njëkk bi loolu nag donte am naa droit bi donte itam ñu bare seen sago moo doon tey ma taxawaat dama jàpp ne man sama wareef ci Sénégal defar ko la du lu ko yàq du ma mos a bokk mukk su luy delloo Sénégal ginnaaw sama wareef mooy gis lii ma tàmbali fekk ko fi yóbbu ko fu ëpp fi ma ko fekk loolu ñu teg ci leneen loolu mooy li may neex loolu mooy li nga xam ne moo ma tax a jóg kon réew mi suñu coalition war nañu am bu ñu àndee nekk benn teg équipe yoo xam ne ci dinaa leen jàppale itam ni ma leen war a jàppale ci waxtaan ak waa réew mi ngir ñu moytu li nga xam ne dana tax Sénégal saaraan ëllëg dugg ci guuta goo xam ne du gën ci njaboot gi du gën ci askan wi kon sant naa ñooñu gërëm naa leen waaye nee naa nag élection yi di ñëw bind naa ko ci livre bi ñu tuddee le Sénégal au cœur Sénégal sama biir xol boo na ko gisee di ngeen wax xam ni ne woon naa mandat 2019 bi mooy nekk sama deuxième et dernier mandat ça ne veut pas dire que awma ci droit mais loolu sama décision bopp la te loolu laa jël tey moom laay baamtuwaat donte nag gis ngeen ay groupement ay nit war nañu Sénégal dem bitim réew yàq deru Sénégal yàq deru président de la République dafa bëgg a def ñetteeli mandat dafa bëgg a def lii dafa bëgg a def laa loolu kon war na mën a dakk ndax président ci boppam jàpp na ne li mu bind 2018 dëgëralaat ko tey loolu taxul maanaam coow yooyu taxul waaye ñaawlu naa li nga xamante ne bëgg sa bëgg-bëgg tax na nga dem di jaay sa réew ak di yàq deru sa réew nit ki booy wut tam da nga ciy boole ngor parce que loolu dafa am solo li ci des mooy ñu continuer suñu taxawaay ci réew mi continuer waxtaan ak ndaw ñi parce que avenir u Sénégal ci ndaw ñi la nekk suñu bëggee seen njàng baax suñu bëggee ñu am liggéey am jàppale waruñu taal école yi waruñu taal université yi waruñu yàq li ñu fi liggéey suñu fi defee ay train def fi ay BRT loo xam ne Afrique yëpp a ci bëgg loolu askan bi moo tax ñu def ko du pour président Macky Sall wala keneen wala gouvernement bi kon war nañu sàmm loolu ñu leen defar parce que alalu réew mi moo ko tabax te dañ ko leb kon loolu dañ ko war a sàmm suñu bëggee ëllëgu gone yi nekk ëllëg bu gën ci loolu laay woo mbokk Sénégal yëpp di leen sant di leen gërëm di leen wax nag bañ a nekk candidat terewul ma taxaw nag taxawaayu président de la République boo xam ne lépp lu mu laaj ci wàllu responsabilité danaa ko doxal ba mu mot sëkk fii ba bés bi terme bi di jeex mooy bu ci yàlla àndee ñaari fan ci weeru avril 2024 dina fekk ñu def élection yal na nekk élection bu sedd guy bu leer naññ ni ko Sénégal di defee su ko defee Sénégal continuer doxam ci jàmm ak salaam maa ngi bàllu ñëpp ak di sant ñëpp di gërëm ñëpp wasalaam.
Welcome back. And from that view, as the President of the Republic of Senegal, Macky Sall there addressing the nation. And, you know, very important comments there. For me, it's the comment where he said, I mean, all this development is for the people of Senegal. It's not for Macky Sall. So you don't have to go about destroying some of the developments. Everybody's happy about these things. But I think this is significant as a nation. If we have difference, we come and solve it as a nation, you know, and we communicate to the nation as a leader. You know, I think this is a very good comment. At least it will also give confidence to the people of Senegal again.
It will indeed. And I think the reason he made the announcement now is that it had reached a tipping point. There'd been a lot of violence, a lot of it, one could say, instigated by Ousmane Sonko and his supporters. 16 of Ousmane Sonko's supporters have died. 16 young men.
That's a lot.
He needs to ask himself whether 16 lives are worth what he's after, which is the presidency, essentially. And I have arguments with my colleagues in the office. They're telling me how popular he is. And I always say that social media and street popularity is not the same as ballot box popularity. If you go back to 2019, 84% of those who bothered to vote did not vote for him. He got 16%, or if you want to be pedantic, 15.6%, Sonko. He got 15.67%. So the 84%, based on his behavior since, are you telling me he's convinced them to vote for him and make him president? Because that's what he needs to do, to turn around his figures from 16% to presidential numbers. And I can tell you, anybody who voted for Macky Sall, who got 58.1%, by the way, Idrissa Seck got 20%. They would probably not vote for Sonko. So just because you can get thousands of youth out on the streets doesn't mean you have the numbers to be president. In Nigeria, last election, Peter Obi had 100,000 young people marching through Lagos.
At some point, I thought he was going to win.
Bobby Wine in Uganda.
Exactly.
Crowds of 20,000, 25,000. Doesn't mean...
But Mr. Hade, it's not even far. In Gambia, 2016, we've seen how he was going round, and we all seen the situation.
So don't get swayed by crowds and say that means that this person, but people get swept along by it and think this guy is going to be the next president. I'm willing to bet good money that if the next election comes, I don't think he'll win.
Exactly. So, Mr. Carr, that's the speech of the President of Senegal there, Macky Sall.
Interesting. It has opened up the arena now for all sorts of contenders to come and vie for the presidency. I hope and wish that Sonko is allowed to contest so that he can test, you know, to see how popular, if he can translate his popularity into votes. I also wish and hope that Karim Wada also will be allowed to contest. I'm also expecting that Halifa Sall, the former mayor of Dakar, also, and Idrissa
Seck.
Seck, and many, maybe even Mimi Toure, some woman, formidable candidate actually. So I hope now, you know, Senegal have an opportunity, you know, to really express before the world whom they want to be their president. Now Macky is out of the equation. But for me, this is significant in more ways than one. I mean, looking at the context of Africa, taking Sierra Leone, Nigeria, now the culture of term limits is beginning to catch. And it's important we nurture it, we allow it to grow, because that is the only way that we can assure continuity and stability in the sub-region. But otherwise, you will have the intervention of the military and then taking us backward. So I hope Senegal will continue to develop this. Now it is defined, the issue of term limits will no longer be an issue or subject of discussion in Senegal. The line has been drawn now. So the polemics, the semantics, is all out of the window now. Now they have an opportunity going forward. So it's a win for Senegalese people, it's a win for the African people, and it's a win for everybody. So I hope now they work on the peaceful transition of power.
Absolutely.
It's a win for democracy, as Malik rightly says, because what you have is a president who, yes, circumstances may have forced him to make this decision now in terms of the announcement. But as I said, maybe he'd been teasing and playing with people, but it has ended up costing lives. And so he thought, okay, now let me come out and definitively, because as we were saying off air, the various mayors from his party just last week converged pleading with him to be their candidate in the next election. And a week before that, the MPs in his party had said that he would definitely be their candidate. And that had stoked up the tensions even more. And so he needed to quell all of that. He needed to quash that by coming up and making a definitive statement, which he did with his message.
And added to that, let me just say, Sonko is a new voice also emerging, you know, a voice that is challenging the status quo. We've seen it in Uganda and other places. So the African head of states or leaders must listen to the voice of the youth, that there is something amiss that they want to redress, and their voices and their participation must also be taken into account. It must be reflected in the greater discourse of, you know, the...
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm told, I mean, time is against us now. Mr. Carr, I think thank you very much for joining this platform. It's always good to have you here, you know, to review these papers with us. And now we'll take a short break. After the break, we will talk to Women's Association for Victims Empowerment. We'll be right back.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot Model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system, reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espace Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
You are watching QTV this morning. We are back, and well, now let's go straight and talk to the Women's Association for Victims Empowerment, and we have Priscilla Yagu Sise with us in the studio, and she is the senior technical advisor and co-founder, and we also have Zainab Low Balde, program associate of the association. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning to you all.
How are you all feeling?
Pretty good.
I hope you're not feeling cold.
Not as her.
Have you taken your breakfast?
Not yet.
All right, Mr. Ade, you should have at least provided coffee.
Well, I should have done that, yes.
Yeah. So it's good to have you here. And an association like this, I mean, it's important for us to delve into the things that you do. I mean, why this association, and you know, some of the achievements. When have you formed this? Because for me, actually, this is my first time of hearing this. So please, can you take us through, Priscilla?
Thank you. Good morning. We're really excited to be here, and I'm glad you're not mixing us up with the other wave. Because
yes,
we
that question did
I was trying to control myself not to mention
not to make that connection, but anyway.
Yes.
It did. Yes, WAVE is a women's rights, women's-led organization. It was born in April 2019, on the 24th of April, to be precise. And we were born out of the transitional justice era to provide a platform and an opportunity for enhanced women's participation in the TJ process. That was then, and we're still continuing. We have been engaged in several activities, working with victims of human rights violations, working with women generally, particularly women and young girls with disabilities. We're working with communities in different parts of the country, and we have, since we started, broken a number of grounds, being the first of the organizations in that TJ era that was working with the victims of the witch hunt campaign from Jama's era. And of course, gender justice, promoting that is one of the areas of focus which we do. We also have really broken ground working with the community in Kemot Ali who are exiled, Ndigal, members of the Ndigal sect. But that's just a few of what I would talk about. And I guess Zainab would add some more.
Sure.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, if I could go to Zainab, actually. We've just heard from Priscilla there about engagement with communities and so on. So what form of, what does this form of engagement take in terms of the work that you do with communities?
Good morning. Like Priscilla had said, we work with different communities, different forms of victims, and the engagements we have, they vary. Sometimes we engage by raising awareness on the different kinds of violations that people have gone through. Because from when we started, we actually understood that not a lot of people actually understood that they were victims.
Right.
You talk to people and they're like, oh, you know, you're sensitizing. And then someone comes up and say, oh, okay, conman victim la, because I've gone through ABC or 1, 2, 3. So one way where we're raising awareness, letting them know that some of the violations that have been perpetrated on them should not have happened. In other instances, we bridge gaps. For example, we bridge the gap of communication between the victims and the state apparatus that are there. When we started, as Krista has said, we were working with the victims of the witch hunt campaign in Jambur, SL, Sibanor, and Sintet primarily. Most of them did not want to come out to talk about their issues because of the stigma and all the related issues that comes with it. But what we did is we were able to break ground. By then the TRC was going on and they could not break ground in these communities because they were so insistent on not coming out. And there was a lot of backlash on these issues. So what we did, we went in, because I'm a victim of, I'm a secondary victim of enforced disappearances. So we brought other victims who have been in the forefront to go in there, talk to them, and let them know that it's okay to talk about these things. So what we did was we had an MOU with the Women's Affairs Unit of the TRRC, and then we helped them get these women to come and register with the TRRC. When we started, most of them thought when you register at the TRC, you had to come on set and talk. So we had to let them know that you don't have to come on set. You can do, there are other mechanisms that you could use in camera or just simple registration. So when the benefits come, you could actually get some things. And through our interventions, some were able to get some medical assistance, some were able to get some livelihood support, in as much as it was not that on a big scope, but some were able to get even reparations in monetary forms.
All right. Now, I know it says Women's Association for Victims Empowerment, but I noticed that when you did the UN Day for victims of torture, you had some men actually, who came and spoke because they were victims too. And I just wondered if you could just briefly, I know we will go back to men, but I just thought it's worth mentioning that actually you do also work with men when the occasion presents itself.
Sure, thank you. And let me also use this platform to inform that on that day we launched and it's still the same organization, but we just added a different component which made reference to women. So it's Women's Association for Women and Victims Empowerment. But like you rightly pointed out, men were present, and we do work with men. Some of our interventions are gender neutral. You go into a community, especially a community of the witch hunt campaigns, for example, you can't really just talk to women and leave.
That's the point I was coming to.
Indeed, exactly, right? So we've had those interventions where it's a holistic, and we make no qualms about that. That is something we would continue to do because we understand that some men, individuals feel differently how they interact and respond with others. I mean, we've had men, victims of sexual violence, talk to us, things they haven't said to other organizations or individuals, similarly women. So yes, a number of activities are community-based, and on that basis, we do interact with both men and women and young people as well.
All right. Let's talk about, these victims. We understand you interact with them often. And what can you tell us about them? What have this cost them, especially those that are accused of witch hunting, and the like? Balde.
I was going to let Priscilla talk, but then it's okay. It's usually very heavy working with victims, because you get to hear a lot of things.
Because for us it's difficult to know these people. And we've just been hearing the witch hunt exercise, the victims, but there is no way we go in the streets and see someone that this is the person.
Like I said, it's usually very heavy. You know, you get a lot of people talking about issues that they don't come out in public and talk about. For example, when we went to first, we did a video documentary.
I was going to say, how do you get their confidence for them to come out? But Karen, with
that's important. I'll touch on that.
Because that's important.
So like I said, some of the victims are taking the forefront, like myself and others. So I don't know, I think it's by the help of God, but we always break ground when we go and talk about our issues and how we have been able to move from point A to point B, you know, from being a victim to surviving the victimhood. So that has helped in one aspect. But I was just going to talk about the witch hunt, the documentary. So we had our first project, Karabengo Kakairo Balundi, which was from Africa Transitional Justice Legacy Fund, was to foster reconciliation and individual healing in the communities of the witch hunt campaign. So through our interventions, our awareness raising and all of those things, we had a component where we audio-visually documented the voices of these victims. And we thank God that we did that, because as we're going, some of them have passed away, but we still have those documentaries to tell the stories to the next generation and so on and so forth. When we played the videos, I was not there, Priscilla was. When we played the videos in the communities, for everyone to listen to what people in their communities were going through, you know, it broke a lot of ground, because some of the feedback was, we didn't actually know that we're living with people who were going through these things.
I was going to say,
you know,
that would be the first time they realized
that was the first time, especially the youth. We had also built a network with the youths to help us continue sustaining that momentum that we've started. So what they said is, you know, we've been living with these people, but we didn't know that this is what they're going through. And understanding that some of the perpetrators also lived in the communities. It's a broken community. So how do we bring them together to talk about their issues, to bring them together to just live again, coexist? It's tough. It's really tough, but we're glad to say we've actually broke a lot of ground, although it's still work in progress. It takes a long while before you get to that point where everyone comes back together.
Because I mean, in societies we live, when someone is pointed and accused of witchcraft, or I mean, it will take a long time for people to come back to their senses. That it's not. So I'm thinking, how are you going to get the confidence of these people again, for them to interact in society?
Well, you'll be amazed that we have them coming out in public now. We just concluded a 3-day human rights festival, and the ones we started with are still coming out to grace the events, to show up. You know, I think it's some sort of healing for them to be able to reintegrate back into society. So it has done a lot of help. Maybe not tangible, but for them who have lived it, or the people who have worked with them have seen a lot of changes in them, that they are at least interacting with people, getting back to their lives, doing their businesses, going on, and you know, the stigma would still be there in some way, because you talk to some people who will tell you, oh, even my grandchildren would be told that your grandmother was a witch. And there are instances where they say, oh, my daughter would never marry, maybe, because, you know, who wants to associate with a witch? But those things are there, but we're helping them walk with them through the journey of healing. And we hope that one day we'll get to the point where people don't actually...
All right, let's go back to the association. I mean, I know it has to go with funding as well. I mean, who is funding this association?
Good question. We have a number of donors, which is all, it's primarily project-based in terms of the projects which we work on and put together, and when they're approved, we take that going forward. We have, we initiated, I believe our first project was the Karabengo, Kakairo Balundi, Zainab mentioned, which is peace talks, so peace building, individual and community healing and reconciliation, which was funded by ATJLF. So the video documentary Zainab's referred to, which is entitled "We Were Accused: Stories to Rebuild Broken Dignity," that was funded by the UN Peace Building Fund.
Yes.
And that has really, really, in addition to the project, just taken things to another level, to the point that something which needs to be mentioned, when we did the institutional screenings, it was not just in communities and in schools, but also institutional screenings, and with the police, the army, the prisons, right? Won't mention which of the institutions, but the others talked about us engaging with them, and we've been exploring ways of doing We Were Redeemed, because they want to be able to say that, you know what, we are state actors, but we're not all perpetrators, and in fact we are also tarnished in terms of the violations. So we've had ATJLF, UN Peace Building Fund, National Endowment for Democracy, NED. They supporting us in a 2-year project we're currently working on. We've had the Swiss Embassy in Dakar, the Canadian Embassy. So sometimes there's a short project, long project. We've also had ICTJ. We work with them quite extensively, International Center for Transitional Justice, and we still work with them. And yes, Sites of Conscience, and the Global Initiative for Truth, Justice, and Reconciliation.
Okay, so
so a number of so we pitch. Based on, it's co-creating with the communities. What are the issues you want us to be able to put forward so that we can support? And then we take it to the communities. We talk about issues. We do a draft of what we think would work for them, how they want it to be. Could be awareness-based and sensitization. One of the activities, and Z mentioned it in passing, was engaging with youth. So we had a TJ outreach programs with youth and in secondary schools,
which
and for that,
off my next question.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And with that, we have an MOU with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. So, so we because we're so embedded in the communities, that's how we actually get to engage with them and know what are the issues, because it could be we have an idea about something, but they're not buying it. What's the point? So they have to buy it, and we have to sell it. And you know how it is, and then we get buy-in.
Okay, in terms of, as a co-founder, you must have founded the organization with certain aims and goals, short, medium, long term. So what would success look like for you in the short, the medium, and the long term?
Because Zainab is also a co-founder. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
what would it look like? Already, sorry.
No. Zainab, do you want to step in?
It's all right.
Like I said, it's always heavy, you know,
Yeah.
dealing with the stories and understanding. Let me just take it back. Why did we form WAVE? Because it's 7 women that came together to form WAVE, Priscilla, I, and a few other women. We were part of the whole TJ process.
Right.
When we were forming the TRRC consultations, the Victim Center, we also founded the Victim Center. But we saw the gap that women were not forthcoming with their issues. Right. Hence the organization WAVE, Women's Association for Victims Empowerment. What would it mean to be successful? It's broad. It's huge. It's sentimental for us. It would mean a lot if we could see all of the victims, throughout the nation, in the Gambia, abroad, everywhere, be able to do things for themselves. We have seen victims who are wheelchair bound. We've seen victims who are living with dire health conditions, and they rely on us to break ground, to talk to the state institutions that are responsible to help them. So it's really heavy on us. You know, you get calls every day. You get people telling you, "I'm sick. I have this. I have that. I have to go there. I have to go there." It's just like it's a cause. You're sacrificing your life for everyone. So it would mean a lot if we could see at least a huge number of victims, move from being victims to surviving what they have gone through. And I understand what Priscilla is going through.
I think composed now. Let me add to that. Short, medium. I believe in the short term, we we have really made impact. I mean, impact is not just how you take it from the inside, but also what you get told about in terms of your your organization, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and seeing how it is. The medium term, I believe we're there now, because what we are trying to achieve is, you know, to get to that point where victims get their desires and their wish. Never again we contribute to that whole process and to the work we do, and just being selfless and being true to the cause and sticking to it. It's not about us as individuals, you know. I mean, she knows, a lot of people know, I saw the work that was being done in the Gambia, and I was like, I'm quitting my UN job and coming here to work with the victims and to work with that institution. But then we got there, and I got there, and we needed to do a breakaway. So being able to get to the point where, and they're saying this already, to get to the point where, she said, victims stand up for themselves. Can they all get reparations as they want? No. Unfortunately, that would not be the case, but they can get to be empowered, as our name implies. And what's empowerment? It means a lot for different people, right? It means for some just being able to say, you know what, like the witch hunt victims, we are. One of our other, and then going forward, that sustainability of the work we've done, and that comes back to us co-creating with the communities so that they can be able to take things forward. Because not everyone needs a handout. Not everyone needs charity. And what do you get? You call someone for a meeting, you give them $300 is transportation, or $500 is, or maybe you put a roof over their head. You give them food, livelihood support. You fix, now it's raining, a lot of people are coming. We need a fence. We need, you know, when the winds blew, people's fences fell. We fix those.
Exactly. And
things like that. But then, taking, for example, I mentioned them before, and I'm going to go back to them, like the community, the Senegal sect, who are in exile in Senegal. Here's a community that's been in exile, it's now 14 years. And they had not been able to access any form of health in the Gambia.
Unfortunately,
you know?
I'm told time is already
time is always up.
Yes.
When they say the best things.
Exactly, but we will do this another time.
Yes.
I mean, we'll follow developments, and anytime, don't hesitate to contact us. We would be willing to give you the platform here. As far as it has to do with women, and we are always there to support our women.
And I was going to say, I guess in the long term, never again should be not just a slogan, but a philosophy.
Indeed.
I think then we will know that we've succeeded.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks
for having us.
Yagu Sise for coming, and Zainab Lobalde. Yes, we'll take a short break. Oh, we go straight to the click segment.
Thank you.
It's Reminisce by Row Entertainment.
Shout out to them, though. Yeah. Wake up every morning, wonder why I'm broke. My pockets all empty, oh man, jiggy soup. Time me the house ball, jot made me wahami door di nope. Ana suma sabo bi, ana suma donkey so. I'm not yo ya ko jël, domi nasaran bi, domi deren domi catch a card bi. I was kinda shy how I rose here, but that's normal. Def you bad man, my stress sabe fast kanam. Legi ma ain't clean, yeah I'm super fresh. Door suma J's, mungi super set. Why yeah, I'm looking set, why baha amod boy, ma ngi drive. Oh my shit, things yangi pain boy, deka bangi super stress. The old job boy, damn it, I'm a celebrity. You wanna ruin my hype, do what he need kunyaradi. I got a fake lifestyle, yo I need to maintain. Buguman do gis my mangi enu box. Ndoli wo ndoli saka tete ni wali kolombombo si betelo dala. Nato jam kiliman touch. Ndoli wo ndoli saka tete ni wali kolombombo si betelo dala. Nato jam kiliman touch. Kefani kumaba some of them are fake, man them are fake. Kefani kumaba some of them are fake, man them are fake. Yeah, die mangi bof, I'm a 5,000. Nigga mangi real. Tay my buff, I'm in 5 grand. Nigga, I'm a hell. Unlike call Binta, that's my call Fanta. Skibble Coco, the for Tui, the for Bari Daga. Should I call Aisha or should I call Panda? Degana and Sajala, boy don't call Anta. Okay. Anta is the lucky girl, Ndoli, Woli, Katanang, Doke, Kana Buri. Where you wanna go? Any restaurant, King Baker, Chop Shop, Luigi's, any restaurant. I'ma spend anything you want. Nigga, mangi real, mangi hell. Jahal na matak, back to zero, why? Kon pako ranga nelo? Ndoli wo ndoli, ndoli saka tete, tete ni wali, wali kolombombo, kolombombo si batelo dala, na to jam jam kiliman touch. Ndoli wo ndoli, ndoli saka tete, tete ni wali, wali kolombombo, kolombombo si batelo dala, na to jam jam kiliman touch. Kefani kuma ba, kuma ba. Some of them are fake, man them are fake. Falling kuma ba, Some of them are fake, man them are fake, yeah.
We are back, and this is QTV this morning. Let's do some dolly won't dolly. We fake it. I mean, fake lifestyle. Sometimes there are situations that you know you need to appear fake. You fake it. Fake the situation. And my brother is here, Churchill Balde.
Yeah, you already know the vibe. Come look at over here. Fake it till you make it.
Wow, you have to fake it sometimes.
You have to fake it till you make it because it's good.
You already
know the vibe. It's your man Churchill Balde right here. Taimom Kalalen Amalka. Angagamani waka. Why? But I know do I say I'm introduce my guest. He goes by the name Speed. My brother.
Hey, my brother. What's up?
Hey, yo, this is family right here. But like, we school together. Yeah, very talented.
Yeah,
so my bad news are fancy and then
yeah, assalamu alaikum my fans and every single Gambian out there. Yeah,
we got Kush Gang in the building. What up? Yeah. What's been happening? What's been going on?
Yeah, I've been doing me. That's my thing. You know, music industry.
Yeah, I know.
You know how it works out here.
Crazy. So let's talk about the Ndoli. What more inspired Ndoli?
Ndoli is something more they give fee. In boy, have they pain. So then they talk sometimes, but still want to maintain that lifestyle. And we know that we cannot do that at the end of the day.
Why are you laughing?
No, but what am I saying? Is it true or not?
No, boy, you know. Why are you laughing?
No, I never want to dig. So we do a certain type of lifestyle. But for
you have to make the bread.
You gotta make the bread first. So at the end of the day, you can't be at the block too and you wanna be like this.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you ain't got this.
You ain't got this.
So I'm just trying to paint what's happening. Like, it's just I'm trying to paint what's happening. It's the truth at the end of the day. So I like playing, acting roles and characterizing those things. So that's how it came.
So how's the feedback been? Regarding the song?
Hey, positive. Mary, Daddy, Haley, people telling me I'm reminding them of their childhood.
Yeah. Sometimes Haley come li bala mo door Ndoli.
So the song has a lot of message in it. Ndoli is like 1, 2, 3, B, so you gotta make it's advising people to girls too. Choose smartly too. Not because of a guy coming and show you, hey man, Lila, man, come right now, no matter if you do it. Nah, let me yeah, fuck na yung sineka anga. After the anga, madef ko no anga. After getting magina anga.
Well, I know. At the end of the day, you lost.
Saya rahas lo fompal lo fofu noni.
No yo so dem ci restaurant. Nga chop sen so ba pare. Amulo lo fe bro fo nga rahas.
Dama ragal fani so lo la gari do def boy.
I know. But
it's just a joke, like it's cool.
Yeah, true. And I love the message. Come it's luñ nekk di dunda and ya ñoo wone li nekk di dunda. So ya ngi always about speed. La mo inspire the name Speed?
Well, Speed with Dala. I'm a video game guy. Back when I was young. So I had this game in Need for Speed. So some motor I'm called Pimp and Bad. So I'm today called Speed Rebel. So it was that. So being a the emoji home cook rap battle, I'm rap battle. So instant gives my boy, I'm gonna fit project rap battle. So by that time I didn't have a name come stage name and so when I go, what if I Speed Rebel? I didn't even think I would go, sir. But after my dem, no love for Speed with you.
Speed with you. Tap nga gaw come 5G.
Wow, no love for Speed with you.
Come here, gaw come 5G.
Yeah, man.
So you're right now looking at the Gambian music industry. You're man, in my honest opinion, you're one of the dopest. Understand where we come? You're loaded tech. You're a wordplay kind of guy, which I really love and admire about you. Facts gonna be facts. Man, I'm like come give people their flowers. Understand? And which you're lulunga. But the thing is, focus we make more on your music. Why do you think? Where is the problem? Fanga de struggle, or is it the Gambians? You muna understand your loan the tech, or come problem be yola? Come falla problem in the
I was struggling with like example in Alabama in QTV.
Yeah.
You know, play like you know, me on some massive when you wanna on platform, but I'm thinking you know, get so much. I think that's the thing that was lacking. Like you guys recognize the talent without even reaching out, calling me or if you go get and feeling I deserve to be on your platform. And therefore, I feel like if other people display that same thing and search for talent, I might be there. I have no control over it. So mandama just demalurek. You never know in time.
So at some point they want to you know what? Let me just drop this music thing and then focus on something else.
I'm not only focused on music. If you can see this music video can tell you that. If I was living this lifestyle, I won't be doing unfit for body.
I know.
I have other things that I do and I focus on. Music is more like sports to me, like so stressy, and you do something to get your head off things. And what
it's like a relief from stress kind of thing.
Yeah, like you just want to paint a picture to people to see. So like just creativity, like.
Nice. So what are the upcoming projects you can expect right now?
I got a lot of songs. Right now I'm working on a song. I feel like I want to release that one, but I'm working on a project like an EP.
Nice.
So, but I want to do a few couple of release, like a couple of videos, similar like these type of thing, acting, showing people what I'm seeing, what I'm observing in this country and all that.
And you're not this generation type, you're never an artist of this generation.
No.
So looking at your generation, your startup, agreeing on the current generation, and still young move guy. What are your observations regarding
right
this?
now, you know, nah, man, I like because it seems like the way I was doing music is the same way they're doing music. So I relate with them more than the people before. Understand?
Nice.
Yeah, right now, these new artists, wow, impressive. I'm loving it.
So you're not focused on music only.
Yeah.
Understand? So let's switch our focus to Kavi. Come. Wow, prank me, you get me?
Yeah.
Well, let's shift our focus on that. Game even having your young people release on a video, understand? Pretending to throw shots on Uche. What inspired that?
Okay, let me tell you the whole story.
Okay.
For you to get it.
Yeah.
On the modern show you make a bag, they invite them to home.
Okay.
So I'm fake for Uche, you chill boy, man, you KS, you massive. You after you them Onyx. When we went to Onyx, from Onyx he said let's go to Envy.
Okay.
So I'm again and you do guys more Venisa. Can't play a small album. Like, oh boy, I don't play a boy's album. No, you're small wang.
Come on, understand.
Why would understand? Because I know the niggas don't play their music for other artists, thinking they will steal what they hang out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, boy, you're small wang. I'm play. When Aga Sensei. Oh, man, Viber Sensei, boy. Viber album, but Sensei was a very nice track.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, what is your plan for this song? I'm going to release it, but I'm not going to Tobaski. I have an idea. let's prank these people, make a fake beat.
Let's prank these people and make a fake beat. Like next time the first video, understand? I will be right back. Give me video one.
Gambian artist, a little boss, so lengo America, then they kufang albukal fan long, walang wala problem mo atul. Yeah, say my name Onyx, chapa uche, so go artist, nigga, kuno ne muli long jang boy, demang ke bi kuti, fam, nigga. If one thing you need to know is mala daha sanse, mala upper class, mala daha chill, defuma taha boy many campe, so nigga chillax, bro.
Lee, man, to me, this is like a Oscar-winning, award-winning performance because you made it seem so real. Nobody saw it coming. Can Munta expect that this was fake? Understand what I mean? Come, yo, Dangde, do you have roles on movies or what? Come, no for them.
I like my boy Bobo. Shout out to Bobo. He likes directing movie. Okay. So me, when it comes to creativity, I like it. So movies and music and all these things is something I'm gonna bad. Okay. So mbo ngaf mari mono collect pour mo support ko si acting roles yi boy mo ma defal ni o nga taxaw ma ni o nga lifini. And my friend too, Daddy Basti, mom tamit he's into that. Okay. So then they neka si lolu. So I got used to it. I like it too. So money I can be into character if I want.
I know, right?
It's easy.
Nice. It's huge. Come nungo it was actually fake. To prove to you that it was fake, let's watch this video. Diwa suma ginaw linga masaratu wama masaratu. Like it's nice and I like the idea. Come noko isi understand in a form of a prank, in the form of a video, just to sell.
The intention was the guy is having a show this year, and boy, Uche is style, boy,
yeah,
he's doing good music, boy, and whatever you can help your brother with, you do that. Most of us Gambian artists, we don't move like that. We don't support each other, to be honest.
You know, and this is your own way of supporting.
Yeah,
it goes back to Ring Star Day One. Yeah. Fake it till you make it. Understand what I mean? So it was just more of a strategy to market the song.
To market the song, because people don't concentrate on things. Some like so, kala guy buga. But the whole thing was giving them something nice. That's the music by making them concentrate. You understand? So you focus and you contact.
Basically, that is how it works. Come, you don't discuss it regarding your people not focusing on your loan but understand what I mean. But coming up with a car, everybody was like, wow. 10 months interviews, people were actually requesting for you to come on this platform. You know, so that's what it is. So, Bala, what do you think? Make of this video? It has never happened.
Wow, it's marketing strategy for the music. Luneka have a marketing strategy. That's how this is what they use for new sales and music. But I think it's a wise one. You should help your brother. And helping your brother doesn't mean but through your own talent. And that's talent there.
Sometimes it's the little things that you do that matters. It doesn't necessarily have to be finance. Yeah, but didn't you at some point think didn't affect in a negative way? Like people will be like, you can do it serious, so guy the
No, like example. Who knows me? I
was surprised.
Don't talk against more video. Maybe not talk dig and artists will fighting. Why don't talk dig and on cast internet? I won't do that. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. And people, that's what they want. You said videos and all these things. Give them what they want.
Facts.
They want something interesting, right? Give them something interesting.
Facts.
Regular.
So right now, young artists reach out to work with.
Right now, yeah, I'm reaching out to few. But I was surprised. I should gain it. Wow, you're surprised.
So any albums that we were expecting or EP?
Okay, you can expect an EP. You can expect a few couple of release singles. Yeah.
Event?
Not yet.
Why not?
Okay, maybe next year. Let's think about it next year. Let's work on the projects right now and give them, feed them. Right now. And then after we can do a show for that.
And looking at music right now, soon music right now, we travel. Understand? We have some artists making it big outside. Understand? Like if they're reaching out to us to go and perform internationally.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? Come langa fuk ne come money ne kari jolly right now.
Right now music buying change. Music buying need it. And I guess oh boy,
wow,
you drop mad song, nice songs, man, and impressive boy.
And
so,
seeing Jizu come them na represent Gambia so summer first, and this is something big for us.
Yeah, Jizu,
it's a win.
ST, Hussein Dara, you them, boy. So it's like you represent Gambia. So
and hopefully who knows?
The artists you make a fees, little hope la pour okay. Ah boy. You tell no them de. You tell mun happen de. So you say they no gonna first jump. They no gonna job.
Nice. So if we're told the time you say that's better to so you buy lang attack out of a fancy, tell them what to expect, and we'll wrap it up.
Expect a project, a EP, expect a few couple of singles coming through, and nice songs, different kind of vibe.
Yo, that was Pete, my brother. This is an Ella right here, family. We wish you nothing but luck and give us more pranks.
Don't worry, I'm gonna do a lot of things.
We're watching out. We're watching out. So that was all I had for you. It's your boy Churchill Ballet right here. Till I come your way again. Keep it locked.
All right. Thank you very much, viewers. Mr. Ade, this is all we have.
I would just like to say that as Speed like pranks, we're going to prank him and the audience by saying that he's going to be working with Burna Boy and Wizkid.
I mean,
we are pranking.
I don't want that to be a prank. I want that to be real.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.